Hi, my name is Kiora Slate. I'm a graphic artist operating out of Palm City, Florida, and this is my artistic process. Typically, I start with a sketch in Photoshop. Since most of my work is entirely digital, it's easier to sketch on the computer as opposed to scanning a paper drawing. Plus, Photoshop has plenty of tools to help with moving and resizing. Now, most of my drawings tend to involve animals as I enjoy creating characters and exploring anatomy, and animals have a diverse range of body shapes to play with. With most of my graphic pieces, I tend not to stress too much about getting the anatomy perfect, instead prioritizing flow and movement. I want the subject to look like they have weight to them and to look like they're in motion, even when they're standing still. Balance is very important to me, and what I don't want is the subject looking too stiff. Once I've got everything about where I want it, I'll clean up the sketch a bit and sort of simplify it so I can visualize how it'll look as a vector image. Once the sketch is done, I plug it into Illustrator and use the pen tool to follow my lines around. I trace each shape like this, eventually filling it in with color and adjusting the contours if any of them need to be smoothed out. Working with the pen points and anchors feels natural and calming to me, and I enjoy the smoothness and precision of it. I rarely use the paintbrush or anything freeform when working in Illustrator because I prefer the tight control and technical feel of the pen. It was an intimidating feature when I was new to Illustrator, and I often got frustrated when I couldn't predict how the shape would turn out. But once I got an idea of how the tool worked and how to manipulate anchor points how I wanted them, it became the most natural way for me to make art. Though the hardest part with this technique is making curves and swirls. You don't want too few anchor points to where it looks angular, but you also don't want too many or it'll look all jittery. Once the shapes are how I want them, I play around with the colors until I hit on a palette that looks good. The tricky part about having a style that's largely or entirely lineless is that you rely a lot on color to distinguish different parts of your image, which can be tricky and restrictive in terms of what colors you can work with. Oftentimes I find myself compromising on what colors I think would look good in favor of what colors would be readable and easy on the eyes. Sometimes half my time spent on a project is just playing around with different color combinations. Usually this is where I stop, but recently I've been playing around with clipping masks and decided to do a bit of experimenting. I envisioned the deer having an outer space pattern inside of it, but I don't like just grabbing a photo or someone else's work to use, even if it's royalty or copyright free, as I lack a lot of control with the appearance and how well it matches the rest of my image. So I opened Photoshop back up and made an outer space pattern from scratch. I started by making a cloud render on one layer, and then made a second multiply layer which I used to color it with. I achieved the cloudy and blended look of the colors by making huge soft brush and gently but quickly tapping my stylus to my Cintiq. I topped it off with a third layer containing some tiny brush dots for stars. I saved this image as a JPEG and imported it to Illustrator. I combined the shapes I wanted to have the pattern and made a clipping mask, then adjusted the space image inside until it was where I wanted it. A few last color adjustments and the image is finished. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in seeing more of my work, you can visit my website at kioraslate.com or look me up on social media.